welcome to week 2 and day 8. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm gonna try to take it easy today so that I can focus on the dads and not so much the exposures, but I do still have some planned, so this is what I have planned for the day. Wish me luck. So I did fail the first one, which was kind of a bummer, but I think I was still preoccupied with trying to make sure everything was getting done this morning and not super focusing on that, but that is what it is. Hopefully the rest of the day goes better. I was able to make breakfast, and actually, even though it was Father's Day, my husband made lunch, so I didn't do that today, but I was also able to clear the table, and I was not able to exercise again because we were doing other things. But overall, I would say it was a good day, and had some quality time with my husband and got to talk to all of the fathers in my life, so it was really good. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Bye! Good morning and welcome to day 9. This is my exposure list for the day. Wish me luck. So as you can see, I did not do the first thing. I had kind of wanted to, not wanted to. I wanted to feel clean as we had to go out and do a bunch of things today, but I thought if I did feel clean, awesome. So I don't know. I need to work on feeling clean or whatever regardless, but I wasn't super disappointed that I didn't do that. Hopefully I'm able to do everything else. I was able to do the next thing, which was take my son to the doctor. This was a huge stressor for me, but it needed to be done, and it all went well. After his appointment, my son and I actually went to a park close to us and went and watched some koi fish eating. So that was really cool and a fun chance to get to spend extra time with him, and we did go to a couple stores, so I got to do that as well. So I did make breakfast today. I was out during lunchtime, so my husband was home with the kids, so he was the one that made lunch today, but I did get to exercise, and so all in all, I would say it was a good day. Good morning and welcome to day 10. Here's my list of exposures for the day. Hoping it all goes well. So honestly, I don't know how to even explain what happened here, but I had gone to the bathroom, had actually not been feeling confident, and had a lot of what ifs, and was planning to take a shower. And as I was washing my hands, I just took a minute, took some deep breaths, thought, did you actually feel any of this happen? And the answer to that was no. And I couldn't even explain it, but that was calming, and so I ended up not taking a shower, which was crazy, but it was really good. I hope that I can continue to have that, like, just if it didn't actually, you're not 1,000% sure that you felt it or you didn't see something happen or whatever, and you don't need to do this, that would be great. I don't know if that's going to happen again, but for today, I was really happy that I was able to work through that. So hopefully the rest of the day continues to go well. I was able to clear the table today, and I was also able to make breakfast and lunch. Lunch took over an hour, which was frustrating. I really do think a lot of that is still getting over my son having been sick with C. diff and just still feeling like I don't know how confident I am that certain things are clean. Even though we've been doing things and touching things for a long time, and pretty much all the things that we could bleach have been bleached. Just certain things that I'm just not feeling confident about, so I'll go and open a door and then wash my hands, and then get a package and then wash my hands, and so it ends up just taking a tremendous amount of time, to do that. But I'm hoping that the more I do it, the less stressful it'll get, but we'll see. Just gotta keep trying every day, and I gotta believe that the more I do it, the less intense it will get, and if not, I'm just gonna have to learn to live with the anxiety that comes along with it and just doing it anyway. I was also able to exercise, and I added cleaning our sink and cleaning our shower to the list today. Wasn't expecting to do those, but they ended up needing to be done today. So it always feels good when I do something that I wasn't planning on doing, because that is something that I struggle with. So it's just good to see, like, even though it was hard and even though it came with a large amount of anxiety, that I can do hard things, and it can turn out okay even when I have a flood of worrisome thoughts that come up. I was not able to unclog the sink, so that will go on the list for tomorrow. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Hi, so here's my list for the day of exposures. As you can see, I did not do the first thing, which is frustrating, but hopefully the rest of the day goes better. The next thing on my list was to make breakfast and lunch. I made breakfast. Lunch actually went pretty well. Did something new, which with my son having allergies is definitely high anxiety, but I intentionally did it early, and it went pretty well overall. So I was able to clear the table, and I was also able to clean the shower, which was stressful, but did get it done. So definitely nice to have that out of the way. I was also able to exercise, but I was not able to unclog the sink. I feel like it's something that I would rather do on the weekend because I'm really stressed out about it, but then the weekends get full of the things that I didn't get done during the week, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll have time this weekend, but it's not looking like it so far, so I guess we'll see. I might take it off the list for now. So honestly, I was kind of surprised by this one, because usually if I have to go somewhere, I feel like I want to feel extra clean, and I was able to go to the bathroom and not shower, so that was a really big deal for me. I was also able to make breakfast and lunch. We had to do lunch early to make it to the doctor in time, but that went well. I was also able to take my son to the doctor, which was super stressful. It was an appointment that I was already really stressed out about, but the appointment went well. But the area it was in was not a super safe area, and so I was stressed out about that. And it's very, I don't know, kind of a claustrophobic area, very crowded, very busy city area, and so for driving, that was really stressful, but was able to get that done, and also went and got some shopping done. My son had an activity come up that I wasn't expecting, but okayed for him to do, so that is something I'm going to have to eventually work on, is if I go out, I can't come back in the house. Well, if I got dirty, in my mind, I can't come back in the house without changing my clothes and showering. And my husband's working from home right now, and of course the shower is in our bedroom where he works, so I have to let him have me come in, and I can't, so I ended up having to stay out until like 10 o'clock at night, which was not ideal, but I mean, it was what it was, I guess. So I don't know. I guess that's something I'm gonna have to put on my list of exposures at some point. I was also able to exercise and clean the shower, which actually I cleaned the shower before you left. I had my other son shower so he would be clean for the day. So that was good. Since we got home so late, I didn't have time to clear the table. Just ate and went to bed, so definitely will do that in the morning. Here are my exposures for day 13, so wish me luck. So the first one didn't go well. I think it was more of a issue of worrisome thoughts, which sometimes I'm able to work through and sometimes I'm not. Didn't sleep well last night. Not sure if that impacted that or not, but just keep going. I was able to clear the table. I didn't wipe it because, again, we still have tablecloth on it this week, but did get it cleared, so that was good. So I was able to make breakfast this morning. At lunchtime, while I was making lunch, we have a storage bin in between our kitchen and our dining room that has my son's, what I call dirty stuff. It's just stuff that he wears outside of the house for his activities. And usually I walk by and it doesn't bother me, but today for some reason it was just one of those sticky thoughts that pops up out of nowhere and just kept bothering me and bothering me and bothering me. Sorry, apparently I can't talk today. And so I had the thought, what if the side of my pants had touched it? And at first my reaction was, well, he only puts things inside of it, so that should be okay. And then it just started to bother me more, and because I have to go in between the kitchen and the dining room every time I wash my hands, which is a lot when I'm making anything, every single time it just bothered me. And so I finally went to take some beans in there to microwave, and for whatever reason I just did it differently than I usually do. I don't know why, just probably because I was so flustered with all my other thoughts. And then I had the thought, what if the bean bowl or the beans or whatever had touched this? And kept going, put it in the microwaved it, and went to wash my hands again before I served it up. And I'm at this point, like, I don't know if anyone else has this, but I just get this, like, I don't know, this, like, paralyzing fear kind of a feeling where it's, like, you feel like you can't move, I feel like I can't breathe. I like, kind of just make the, like, kind of sound, like, because I can't, I don't know, I can't accept the place that I'm at. Like, I feel like I need to fix it. Something is obviously wrong. You get this, like, panic that just flows through you. And so I'm experiencing this, and I'm trying to keep it together as my sons are in the other room playing their video games, and I don't want this to be a big deal. I kept telling myself, like, I'm sure it's fine, which I know I'm not supposed to do, but, you know, I think in the moment just trying to get through it. And then it just keeps getting worse, and I start to I feel the tears, and I feel like I'm about to lose it. I feel like I just need to just sit down and just cry because I'm just, like, probably having, like, a panic attack. I've had that happen before where I just fall to my knees and I just bawl my eyes out, and I can't calm down. I feel like I can't breathe, and it's so hard because it's over something that is just so, it's just not a concern to anyone else. Like, it's not something that I think anyone else would be having a meltdown about. And in fact, at that point I decided, and I know you're not supposed to, but I felt like I needed my husband to tell me it was okay. So I asked my son if he could go get my husband, and I explained to him what happened, and I explained to him I'd even wiped my pants, which probably doesn't do anything, but I wiped my pants, I washed my hands, and I was still feeling contaminated, and I was worried about the beans, and he just says, like, "Hon, this is fine, this is just your OCD." And like at that moment, like I felt, you feel better for a second, but then it was like more of a frustration, I guess, of like, why sorry, why can he see that? Why does he just know that this is fine? Like, why can I not see that? And so that's hard. I feel like that's something I really struggle with a lot. I don't know anyone else that has OCD, and I feel like it's very lonely, because you feel like you're the only one that has this, and you feel like there's like something wrong with you, and like, why am I feeling this? Why can I not get past this? Like, why does my husband just see, oh my gosh, like, yeah, it's fine, you don't even need to worry about this, and here I am, like, I'm crumbling and I'm falling apart, and I am, on the verge of or having a panic attack. And again, he's fine. Like, he didn't even think twice about it. And like for me, for today, like, this wasn't even like a common OCD thing for me. This was just some random thought that popped up. Like, maybe you touch that when you walk by, and then being distracted in that thought, it just got worse. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes my compulsions and whatever that I know I have, like, I know that if I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to feel the need to shower, or I know if I go out, I'm going to feel dirty. Knowing that that's there is a little bit easier to deal with. I feel like when you have something new, either a new theme of OCD or just a new thought pop up out of nowhere, that's really hard. But I feel like feeling alone in that, it makes it worse sometimes, and just, I don't know, especially being out in public, sometimes can be hard, because I'm really struggling with something, and I just see everyone else, and I look around and I feel like everyone else is just, living their normal life, doing their normal things, and I just feel like what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I just go do that? Why can't I just go out and have fun and live a normal life? And I feel like that's just, my normal is just gone. I don't know if that's ever gonna come back. I don't know. I'm sorry, I've been rambling. Yeah, anyway, the lunch, I was able to finish it. If you see on here, I have it checked off and X'd off, because I did have to ask my husband for reassurance, which I'm trying really hard not to do. But in that moment, like, we needed to get ready to go so I could take my son to the dentist, and like I said, I felt like I was having a panic attack, and I needed him to tell me, or someone to tell me, that it was okay. So anyway, I'm marking that as done and not done. So the next thing that I did was go take my son to the dentist, and went to the stores, and for the most part that went well. I have probably times almost every time I drive where I'll have the thought, what if I ran over somebody, or I hit a bump and think that, or I think maybe I hit a car, if I hit a bump, So that's something that, I don't know, some days is better, some days is worse. Today was, I don't know, medium. But, it's hard. I try, which I don't know if you're supposed to do, but I'll just, look back in my rearview mirror for a second, make sure, I don't see anybody, and then just keep going, if I'm able to, and that's safe to do. But otherwise, both of those went fairly well. I did have a tough time at the grocery store. I went to grab some raw meat, which I have a really hard time with. And the packaging, was, wet, which I assume was from condensation, but that just, freaked me out, because I was, worried that it was, meat juice, and it was, all over me. But I had to keep going, and, I could see that, on the inside of the packaging, it looked like it was wet, so I assumed that that's what it was from. And there were several, I tried to get a different one, and they were all like that, so I'm like, well, they can't all have juice on them, although I guess they could all have juice on them. So, but I got it and wiped my hands and just kept going, but definitely didn't like that is for sure. So I was able to exercise today, so that was good, but I was not able to clean the shower, but I have to clean my son's bathroom tomorrow, and then I shower after that, so it's just gonna get dirty again tomorrow. So I don't know, I might clean it in the morning beforehand, or I might just clean it when I'm done and not have to do it twice tomorrow. We'll see. I hope everybody has a great night. Good morning and welcome to day 14 of my exposures. Hope everything goes well today. Wish me luck. So I was not able to do number 1. I had actually run out of hair ties, and I expected that was going to be triggering for me. I usually put my hair up when I go to the bathroom. Probably weird, but I do. And so I did end up needing to take a shower. I was able to clear the table. I still have the tablecloth on, so I didn't wipe. I was also able to clean my son's bathroom today, which took 2 hours, but that's down significantly from when he was sick and I was cleaning it for 12 to 16 hours a day. So that's a huge improvement, and definitely had some moments that were triggering. Cleaning the toilet is hard. I have physical sensations a lot of feeling like a drop of water gets on me, and so when I'm cleaning the toilet bowl, I will have that happen and then have to wonder, did water actually hit me? It's just one of the physical sensations that I tend to have. I'm just sitting in the discomfort of that, but I did get it clean, and so I will consider that a win. I was able to make breakfast. I only made lunch for me today because I was cleaning the bathrooms during lunchtime, so my husband ended up doing lunch for everybody else. I feel like when I just do it for myself, it is less anxiety-inducing because I'm not as concerned with, I guess, if I were to get sick or whatever, as I would be if something happened to a family member. So that went well. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely easier if I'm just making it for myself versus everyone else. So I had picked something in particular that I don't really think it's contaminated. It's just I don't remember whether or not we touched it when my son had been sick. And so it's just been one of those things. I don't know why certain things concern me more than others. There's definitely things that I knew that he had touched, and I knew that there was the first week of him having C. diff when we didn't really know that he had it yet. There was things that I know for sure, like my phone and stuff, that I was touching every day. And the first time he had it, I didn't bleach my phone because they said to not do that, so I didn't, and didn't end up having any issues with it, even though it was obviously something that I was touching. But for some reason, even though we're now 7 months past him having it, if I'm not sure whether or not I would have touched it when he was sick, I don't know, it just, that what if this is something I touched, and what if my hands weren't clean, or whatever, and he gets it again, or I get it, or one of my other family members gets it. And so that's just something I'm just gonna have to keep working towards. But yeah, I was not able to do it today. Just, I think it being a busy day yesterday was a hard day, and so I think maybe it's just not a good day to start, although I'm trying to push myself and just do it, because I'm miserable where I'm at, and I think if I don't just do something at some point and, see either it was okay or wasn't okay, but know that one way or another, I think I'm just going to continue to be stuck. So at some point I'm just going to have to say, nope, don't care. I don't care what the intrusive thought was. I don't care what the reason you didn't do it was. Like, I just need to just force myself to just do it regardless. That is hard. And so it's something that I'm going to continue to work towards, but just wasn't quite there yet today. So I did not clean our shower today. I need to pull the weeds in the morning, so I decided that I'll just do it after that because I like to have it clean, mostly for the week. Not really that it's dirty, it's just in my mind it's dirty. So I'm gonna pull the weeds tomorrow morning before it gets too hot, and then wipe it after I shower tomorrow morning. And it is the end of the night, but I'm gonna make sure that I exercise here once I'm done recording. Sometimes I just gotta force myself to do that. It's definitely easier to not, because one, I think exercise for anybody is hard to stay motivated to do it, but I don't know, I think when I'm trying to work out and there's just so many things physically around me that I feel like might be dirty, it's just the constant when I lifted my leg, did it touch that, did my arm touch that, and that gets frustrating, but just gotta do it and hope for the best, and I guess that's all you can really do. So that's it for week 2. Definitely had a lot of ups and downs this week. Was able to accomplish a lot of things that I didn't think I could do. Got through a lot of moments that I didn't think I could get through. I think that it's so important to remember with OCD that you are going to have ups and downs, and that you just gotta keep going. You gotta take a deep breath and just remember the things that are important to you and just stick to those. And sometimes that might not look how you want it to. I definitely have days where I have challenged myself to do something and I do it, but I don't do it in the way that I'd hoped that I would do it. At the end of the day, I think as long as I keep going and as long as I'm trying, I think it's more important to try, even if I had to do it weird, even if people would look at me at the store and think, wow, that lady's crazy, which I guarantee you they have done. I just think you just gotta keep going. Yesterday when I was at the grocery store, I think I talked about this. I thought that the wetness on the container could have been raw meat juice, so I got out my wipes and I wiped my hands after I touched them, and that wasn't enough for me, so I didn't want to touch the cart and contaminate other people, and so I had 2 wipes, under my hands pushing the cart, and I'm sure if people notice that, they're thinking, wow, this is all kinds of crazy. But I was more happy that I kept going and that I got through it and I just did it, and maybe again I did it weird, but I did it. So whatever your challenges were this week and going into the next week, just remember that there was a time that doing the things that you're doing now seemed impossible. Another thing I did this week was getting gas, which I have not talked about on here, but pretty much about the time COVID hit, I had stopped getting gas. I couldn't do it. I was so worried. One, about COVID germs being on the pumps and whatever, but even before COVID hit, I was so worried that what if I dripped, gasoline on my pants or my shoe or whatever, and then I wash it and then the washer dryer explodes, which was crazy, but that's just where I was at, and so I'd stopped getting it. I couldn't bring myself to doing it anymore, and it was actually maybe a couple months ago. I was out with one of my kids, and we weren't close to home, and so I couldn't just go home and have my husband get gas or ask somebody else to do it. I had to do it. We needed gas to get home, and so I was absolutely sick about it, but just took a deep breath. I reminded myself that I could do hard things, and I did it, and now this is that. I think yesterday, or whatever day that was like the fourth time that I've had to do it since then. We don't drive a lot, but and yeah, I had moments that I wanted to stop and I wanted to say, I don't really need to get gas right now, so maybe by the weekend my husband could get gas instead of me, and then I wouldn't have to do it. But I just I forced myself to do it, and I think that's eventually where I hope to be with a lot of these other things, where it's like I still have the thoughts, I still have the physical sensations of the feeling the like my palms sweating and my fists get tight and my jaw clenched, all these things that I still feel them, and just choosing to do it anyway. And so that gives me hope when I'm having a hard day that I couldn't do that for years and I was able to do that. So that's a big thing. It gives me hope for the future, and that one day the things that I'm doing now that feel impossible, maybe one day I'm going to look back and go, yeah, I didn't think I could do that, and now I do it, and I still struggle, but I can do it. Or maybe it's something that I don't even think twice about anymore and just becomes so normal for me to do it. But either way, I hope that you find that as you start to challenge yourself to do exposures to, that you start to notice a shift, and that maybe it's not so scary anymore. Maybe something that you said was a 10 out of 10 is maybe now a 5 or less than a 5, or maybe even it's a 6 or 7, but it's not a 10, so you feel like it's doable even though it's hard. I think you got to just keep going. That's my best advice, is just keep going, take a deep breath, and remember that you've got this. You can do hard things. But I will make sure to say a special prayer for everybody this week. Make sure that I ask God to watch over you guys and your own journeys, and that He just be with you and provide comfort. I feel like sometimes that's all that I need. I just need a big hug. I just need to know that I'm not alone in this. And I hope that everyone has a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.